I have a story to tell you. It's Ghost Stories, Volume 2. Are you ready? And welcome back to Ghost Stories, Volume 2. Strange things seem to happen to me in threes. I tried to shoot this video 3 different times, and each time something has gone wrong. I want to tell this story about a ghost I saw when I was stationed at Fort Irwin, California. Like I said, I tried to shoot this video 3 different times. First time I woke up, it was 3:33 in the morning, so I decided to make a video. And during that video, my camera decided to crash. Then the next time I tried to shoot this video, trains kept going through. Now here I am, the 3rd time. Hopefully I can get this video shot and you can enjoy Ghost Stories Volume 2. So let's begin. This story takes place at Fort Irwin, California. We had just gotten done with a FTX, a field training exercise. I went home, ate some dinner, talked to the family. Everybody went upstairs and I decided to stay downstairs and have a beer. Maybe I had to. Didn't drink that much. So I was sitting on the couch by myself. I had a beer, I was playing a video game, and I must have fallen asleep. But before all that happened, I know I had told my family goodnight and everybody went upstairs. The wife was upstairs and Kshioe was upstairs. And this had to be around 2004, 2003. So Kshioe was upstairs asleep in her bed. The wife was asleep in her bed. And I was downstairs watching TV for a little bit, and I probably started playing a video game. And during that time, I fell asleep. And I was asleep on the couch in that living room, and I had suddenly just woken up. There was like a noise in the house, and I don't know what it was. I just woke up. Now, as many of you know, that when you fall asleep with the TV on, the only light in that room is the glare from the TV. I had looked around to try and figure out what had woken me up from my deep, peaceful sleep. Was it something that was on TV? I don't know. Because when I looked at TV, it was just a soft blue hum of light. And that light illuminated the living room. And that seemed like that light from that TV was the only thing I could see in the living room. Because everywhere else in the living room I looked, it was pitch black, left to right. It was just pure darkness. The only thing that I had illuminating me was the glow of the TV. So I sat there in dark, just trying to figure out what had woken me up abruptly from my sleep. I sat there and just listened in the dark for anything. Maybe it was a car outside, a cat, maybe I heard one of my dogs barking, but nothing, and I repeat, nothing was making a sound in that house. Pitch black, soundless, motionless in that house. The only thing that seemed to be moving and maybe even making the sound of breathing was me. I sat there in that living room couch just looking around. I'm like, I don't understand what woke me up. But like I said, threes seem to be the number. It was 3:33 in the morning. This seems to be a number I cannot escape in my life, and I'll tell you more about it in future videos. But let's get back to this story. 3:33 in the morning as I looked at my watch. Nothing was around me. My dogs are upstairs with the family, asleep in the house. And it was just me sitting on that couch, alone, in the dark. What could it have been? I don't know. I kept trying to figure this out. Nothing else seemed to be there. So I kept staring at the TV, waiting for my eyes to adjust of the darkness and the light of the room. I'm looking around. Everything seemed fine. Nothing was out of place. Nobody else was in the living room with me. It was just me. Like I said earlier, everybody was upstairs asleep. The dogs was asleep. The family was asleep. I was not asleep. So I sat there for about 3-4 minutes, just trying to make sense of me waking up like I did. And as I sat on the edge of that couch, I noticed there was a dark figure standing in the corner behind the big TV that we had, the 60-inch floor-mounted big screen TV we had at the time. There was a figure standing in the corner behind that TV. So I sat there. It seemed like 10-15 minutes might have passed, but it was probably like 1 or 2. I just stared at that black figure, and I'm just telling myself, I'm so tired of ghosts showing themselves to me. I'm not scared of ghosts, but they frequently visit me. Whether they're family members or spirits of people from the past, I do not know, and I really don't want to know. But sitting in my house that very morning at 3:33 was a black figure in the corner of my house. So I sat there and waited for my eyes to adjust to maybe see if I can see any definition to this black figure, figure out what it is and why it's here in my living room. Because I do believe that was a figure that woke me up from my sleep. I sat there and just stared at it. It did not move. Now, many of you probably have seen the movie The Ring with Samantha. And that's exactly what that ghost figure looked like to me. Just hair going down its back or its face. I don't know. I couldn't tell. But it looked like the back. I don't know. But hair was just flowing down from it. From the back. Just black hair flowing down. And I was just like, oh my God. This is all I need right now. Is for a ghost to be talking to me in my living room by myself at 3:30 something in the morning. So I sat there just staring at it. It didn't move. It didn't make a sound. So I finally decided to speak to the ghost, to that figure, the ominous thing just standing in the corner of my living room at 3:30 something in the morning. And I said, what do you want? It didn't reply. So I just sat there staring at it, staring at it, and staring at it. My eyes had finally adjusted to the darkness and the light of the living room, and I could see more definition to this figure. And I tell you what, I about lost my stuff right there. As I stared at that figure, I noticed the figure was of a young child. Had to be 6, 7 years old. So I sat there and I asked that figure, and I said, "What do you want?" Once again, it did not say nothing. It did not move. So I kept staring at it and staring at it. And as my eyes finally 100% got adjusted to the darkness and the light of the living room, I saw that that figure was a figure that I knew, and I knew well. That figure looked like my daughter, Kshioe, who was asleep upstairs. I know because everybody was asleep before I started watching TV. So I sat there and I staring at that figure, and I say, "Kshioe, Kshioe, is that you?" The figure did not move. I wanted to get up and run out that house. I really did. So I sat there, and once again I said louder, "Kshioe, Kshioe, is that you?" And to my dismay, that shadowy figure of the child in the corner of my living room very slowly turned around and looked dead at me. And it looked like my daughter, Kshioe. So I sat there and I said, "Kshioe, what are you doing downstairs?" The lifeless figure just looked at me. Blank staring eyes just staring at me while I sat on that couch. And I said, "Kshioe, Kshioe, what are you doing downstairs?" And very eerily, the figure spoke to me. Said, "I don't know." I looked at that figure. I didn't want to touch it because I did not know if that was my daughter or a ghost. To this day, I believe it was a ghost. My daughter was sound asleep upstairs. I told that figure, I said, "It is late. I don't know why you're downstairs, but you need to go back upstairs." No, I did not get up and move from that couch. I told that figure, "Go upstairs." I didn't touch it. I wasn't going to do it. That figure slowly said, "Yes, Daddy," in a very childish, eerie voice, walked past me and up the stairs. I sat there in dismay, just head twirling and wondering, was this my daughter I was talking to, or was this a ghost? Later on that very morning, when the sun was up and everybody in the house was up and moving, I asked my daughter, "What were you doing downstairs last night, early in the morning?" She told me, "I wasn't downstairs at all, Dad." I said, "You never came downstairs?" She told me she did not. So I asked her, "Are you sure you were not downstairs? Because I was talking to you last night." What's scary about this story is my daughter has never, ever sleepwalked at all before that time or after. So I don't know. That was not my daughter. That was a ghost. As I told everyone what happened to me that night, everybody in my family laughed at me that day. But if they would have experienced it, they would not have been laughing. That is very creepy. Thank you for tuning in to Ghost Stories Volume 2. Stay tuned for Ghost Stories Volume 3. If you're not too scared.